Manchester United taking on Brighton in this fixture. The games just are coming so thick and fast for Manchester United right now, and this is a tricky tie for Manchester United. It really is. To get to that fourth position, I'm really thinking that this one is one of our more difficult games that we've got left in the season, and away from home, certainly, well, earlier on in the season we were horrendous away from home. We couldn't barely win a single game away from home. And I know that there's no crowds, but I still think this is going to be a difficult game. And although we rotated a lot of players against Norwich, that was away from home and we didn't do too clever there. We only drew away at Spurs and we smashed Sheffield United at home. I'm not too sure the home advantage has gone completely out the window. Some people thought, including myself, without the fans, that the home advantage wasn't going to be there at all. But I think that there is a slight home advantage still. I mean, you play on that pitch all season, and some of the pitches are different sizes and that, so that can make a difference as well to how teams go into a game. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer, so that things do come into account there. And I think it still does give slight advantage to the home side in these, but obviously the bigger teams usually beat the smaller teams anyway. So, but this, I think, is going to be a bit of a banana. It could potentially be a banana skin for Manchester United. And the problem that Manchester United are still 6 points behind Leicester and a few points, I think, was it 3 or something points behind Chelsea, or whatever, 4 or whatever points behind Chelsea, or whatever they are, points behind Leicester and Chelsea. We've got to be winning these types of games to get into that Champions League, because we don't know what's going to happen, whether Man City are actually going to get banned, so we can't take it for gospel that Manchester City are going to get banned from the Champions League and put Manchester United in 5th. And Wolves are right on our tails as well. They've moved up into that 5th position right now, so we've really got to win this game to keep our noses in front of them, so that if it does become a disaster, we can still finish 5th and maybe still get into the Champions League. These are quite a good footballing side, so I expect that they're going to have a bit of a go at home against Manchester United. They haven't really got a lot to lose, because I don't think they're going to go down now. I think it'd be very unlikely that they're going to get relegated, because the teams down the bottom are absolute horseshit, and there's so many teams that aren't scoring goals, and I can't see the other teams really overtaking them. The likes of Bournemouth, Aston Villa, West Ham and Watford, they're all pretty much not scoring goals and not doing an awful lot, and to get above these, they're going to have to going to have to win some games, and they're not winning games. So I think Brighton are pretty much safe. They beat Arsenal, so we can't underestimate them. I know Arsenal played dog shit, but still can't underestimate them at all. And they got a 0-0 draw that should have beaten Leicester, really, because they missed a penalty. So this is going to be no walkover at all. But I think Manchester United are pretty much going to go for the same team as they did against Sheffield United. I would believe, but there may be 1 or 2 changes. I mean, David Hare will be in goal. I think he will keep Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as the fullbacks, and Lindelof and Maguire as the centre halves. The midfield, I think, will stay the same. Matic, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. And the forward 3, I think he might change it and put James, Rashford and Martial down the middle. That's what I think. I think probably Greenwood won't keep his place from the team that started against Sheffield United, although I would like to see him get a run in the team to see what he can do. Now, he probably hasn't been at his brilliant best so far for Manchester United since the return of the lockdown, but still look decent and does offer more goal threat. But maybe that pace in behind could cause Brighton some problems from the likes of Dan James and that, so that might be why he starts. But Dan James hasn't been in good form either from recent games. The last 10-12 games, he hasn't been in great form himself. So, but still, Mason Greenwood is a young lad, only 18 years of age, and it is his first season in the first team. So we will have to just bear with him. He's going to have some dips in form, and this probably is his biggest dip in form since coming to the Manchester United team. And if he played all season, would have got a hell of a lot more goals. But he doesn't very rarely often compete 90 minutes for Manchester United, but that's all right at this moment in time. The games are coming thick and fast. He will still get more minutes for Manchester United, because we go again at the next weekend. So hopefully Manchester United, I'm going to put my neck on the line and say Manchester United can get the job done. I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game 2-1. In other news for Manchester United, Angel Gomez didn't sign his Manchester United contract that was offered to him, which I think is disappointing. I have touched on this in other videos. I did see him as a high prospect for Manchester United, and sometimes has looked fantastic on the ball, but hasn't really been given, I don't think, quite enough opportunity in the first team. Some players just come into the first team like Rashford did, like Greenwood did, and just hit the ground running, fearless, just come in, just take the game by the scruff of the neck straight from the off, pretty much score goals, create goals. But he hasn't really done that when he's played for Manchester United in the first team, and it's made it difficult for him to get in the team. But I do believe he should have played a bit more game, had a bit more game time ahead of the likes of Pereira and Lingard at times, when they have really flattered to deceive sometimes this season. And he probably didn't get enough minutes in the Europa League, which was a bit disappointing for me. But it's sad to see him go. It's just whether he's going to go and smash it at another club, really. I would have liked to seen him sign that new contract. Apparently it was he didn't like the contract that was offered, but to be honest, he's probably getting a good enough contract that some of the bottom 4 or 5 teams in the Premier League players would be getting. And I don't know if if he goes to another big team, if he's going to get the opportunity. But personally, I would have liked to have seen him sign the new contract and then go off to play in the Championship, or a bottom half Premier League team, or Germany or France, or another country, just to get some game time, and then come back to Manchester United and see what he could do then. But it's not been the case. It does look like he's leaving Manchester United, which is a shame, because I don't want him to go, as I say, and smash it somewhere else, and then we regret the fact that we didn't give him a bit more game time and that he's fucked off. But if he's not willing to sign the new contract, I don't know what we can do. Could we sort of re-sign him like we did with Pogba 3 or 4 years down the line? I don't know, but we will have to wait and see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that, and obviously the game in general. As I say, I'm going for Manchester United winning this game 2-1. I'm hoping that we can just sneak this game. I'm not overly confident though. If it was a draw, I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest. But if it is a draw, then that's going to be a really difficult scenario for Manchester United. We've really got to go out there and win this game. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Like the video. If you're watching this on Facebook, please do subscribe to All Things Man United on YouTube as well. And I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.